A new quartz tank must at £3,300 is a lot of money. None of us will deny that. £6,750 for a steel-only automatic Santos de Cartier is no small investment by any means either. And Cartier's vintage watches seem to all hold their value incredibly well. See, Cartier are overpriced, and yet I want one, and today we're going to talk about just that. Welcome to Doug's Watches, the thinking watch channel. Here I like to connect art, design, theory, history and philosophy to the world of watches. So if that sounds good to you, do make sure to like and subscribe. So in my watch box there are two watches from a brand called Montine, a Swiss brand lost to the quartz crisis. I can find very little information on them, but what I can tell is that they never produced particularly creative or groundbreaking watches and were probably on the cheaper side of things. In today's world, there'd be an Homage brand, maybe even relegated to fashion brand. Certainly nothing grabbing Hodinkee headlines, that is. But the two watches I have, this little red-dialed quartz tank must-looking thing, and then the latest purchase, the Roman numeral dialed manual wind piece. Both obviously wear their Cartier inspiration on their sleeve, and as a result, they're derivatives of the original form, and so are worth much less. A lot less, in fact. The red-dialed one I picked up for £17.50, including postage, over on eBay. The Roman numeral dial, £34 in a junk shop. I don't wear them very much, but it's okay, they were cheap. But I enjoy it when I wear them, and I behave differently wearing them, as I've discussed in a recent video that I called I Was Wrong. But on paper, they're stainless steel with a little bit of gold plating. These are the same as your vintage Cartier tank must that cost a minimum of £1,000 in both quartz or manual wind guys. And that is a massive difference in price for what is a comparable product, but the brand and feeling are not comparable. So luxury products, be that cars, watches, clothes, are all built around brand. As Jean-Noel Kapferfer writes in The Luxury Strategy, luxury is not about the product itself, but about the story and the image it conveys. Consumers are not merely purchasing a handbag or a watch. They are buying a symbol of status, taste, and identity. By crafting a narrative, heritage, and exclusive image, luxury brands transform tangible products into emblems of aspiration, allowing them to command a premium far beyond the material value that their product actually represents. See, Montine are gone. We don't know who they are, and so the name holds no value to us. We have no stories to tell of them, but as any watch fan will tell you, Cartier most certainly do. In 1904, the Cartier Santos was born as Louis Cartier made a watch for his friend Albert Santos Dumont. They might also be able to tell you that the brand was founded in 1847 under Louis-François Cartier, and that it was his grandsons Louis, Pierre and Jacques that were responsible for establishing boutiques in Paris, London and New York, placing their jewellery and watches in the cosmopolitan epicentres of the transatlantic age. They might be able to tell you that King Edward VII, the successor to Queen Victoria, allegedly called the brand the jeweller of kings. They may be able to tell you that the tank takes its name from the Renault tanks of the First World War, that also share a top-down silhouette with it. They might also tell you that Princess Diana, Muhammad Ali, Andy Warhol and Donald Sutherland sported watches from the brand. See, it's this mystique, it's this history which gives the brand a premium. I'm not sure about you, but when I look at the marketing of Cartier, when I look at the stories, and perhaps this is just my bias coming through, it feels more authentic than, say, that of Rolex and Omega. The Bond franchise doesn't ultimately care what's on Bond's wrist. All that matters is who will pay more without devaluing the character. Rolex's stories, as I've touched on previously, are often questionable, to say the least, as well. But Cartier, why do I get the feeling that Timothée Chalamet, Rami Malek and Paul Mescal would all be wearing Cartier, even without their title as a brand ambassador? It is the watch of elegance, sure, but also the watch of a brooding, artistic quality. I view watches as markers of my life. While I have quite a healthy and varied watchbox, there are certain pieces that I'd say represent individual eras of my life. My old Citizen Eco Drive, that's my time in university. My Black Bay, my early professional years. And I've often thought about my next chapter and what that actually means. I've been through a lot of options, perhaps a Rolex Oyster Perpetual, a graduation from Tudor to represent my continued corporate climb, maybe an Omega Speedmaster, something to inspire me every day by reminding me of humanity's great potential as represented by the moon landings. Or Cartier, a graduation to a less stressful, more artistic, more elegant lifestyle. That's my grail. Not a watch, but a life where I can indulge a bit more freely, spend more time having Aperol spritz by the beach, and have dinner at the theatre every week. What I can never escape is that if we're going off this chapter of your life idea and that luxury brands and luxury watches help you curate this, then in that case, the only choice can be Cartier. But my God, do you pay a premium for it?